for high GC news. Mima ubibia akwaba had the latest hot kwa era me de bremo. Eruti zonya subscribe to channel idea bo modia say over subscribe. The way I say over click the subscribe button. Na wabele notification. We had a video for be upload on with the first person once ever can sa video. Afi we are na wa like video no give us a thumbs up na fi share ma wo foforo so na wenye bi hwe na wo hu ensemo a ekoso e wo Ghana memo hanum afi ntentemara yembura ye ensemo a abeto ye pno so uminti ye sankomo ya babeto je sa report mama yiti sansemo ye ekoso uminti
the foreign affairs minister akasa Mr. Ablakwa, and what did he say? Or say Ghana Washington DC embassy scandal. Suspect Fred Kwatin was earning $1.8 million annually for courier services alone, with total earnings reaching $4.8 million a year. Foreign Affairs Minister Okudzeto Ablakwa. Let's listen to the Foreign Affairs Minister and the Okano Parliament. We are PZ for Medjum.
Mr. Speaker, investigations conducted by the top management of our ministry reveals that GTC dispatched between 150 to 350 visas and passports daily. Therefore, on average, about 250 visas and passports were dispatched daily by GTC. Right, Honourable Speaker, this implies that yearly GTC dispatched approximately 62,500 visas and passports. Mr. Fred Kwatin was therefore raking an estimated $1,859,375 United States dollars annually for courier services alone. Mr. Speaker, you can comprehend the substantial sum he earns annually after adding fees for assisting applicants in completing their visa and passport forms, for which he charged between $60 and $100. By conservative analysis, Mr. Fred Kwatin made about $4.8 million annually from his unlawful enterprise. Mr. Speaker, it is important to emphasize that there was no share, there was no revenue sharing arrangement with the ministry. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs had no share. This $4.8 million was controlled totally by Mr. Fred Kwatin. The Speaker, investigations conducted.
So, PZ for where Foreign Affairs Minister Okudzeto Ablakwa reminding you so ya uneni ene na mumu bi mu pese mo betino. En fa so ya uneni o ye teni o so ya nzimani o ya santini o de hian se o ye adwuma no ene adwuma no so na o ye. Enti yamfa bebi ofiri nto nchen na mumu bi mo pese adodo. Na brofo na o ka nyina mo baba abonum amonte ase mumu bi PZ for de na o ka nyina o say Eye Ghana Embassy and Nana Kweku Addo Dr. Bawumia Mahamadu Oni Kennedy Agyapong mo ene brand champon mo time na omote so no abrantie bi na owo Ghana Embassy ho ewo US Washington DC a your friend Mr. Fred Kwatin ono na hwe visa so se ne yebe ma manfo visa ne ade and the Foreign Affairs Minister say my year investigations now visas are sebio eye embassy ewo Washington DC a eye Ghana Embassy e print ya e fa embassy ni nsem omuko bie computer mu NDC aban ba ya omohwe dodo o ma print embra Mr. Kwatin we Akufo Addo mo abreso Brian Champon Bawumia Kennedy Agyapong mo abreso mo ye connection e fa ni nsem no sika na abrantie we enya afibia no na eye $1.8 million. Asama Okudzeto Ablakwa no emfini botomo investigations o ma ye because embassy every day bi o mema visa bia no o mo charge fee o say sa sika abrante ne nya no se okeka sika wanyinya akeka ho ne nyoma bia wa ya ekeka ko $4.8 million na omukọ ba America hana omukọ Washington DC for computer mu omoye auditing investigations no omo say visas dodo aya printe ene visas afam sa sika ni nyina ma Ghana ban ho under Akufo Addo Bawumia Kennedy Agyapong Brian Champon Okudzeto Ablakwa mo say omukoye audit investigations no about $4.8 million. Ghana embassy wo saa sika nanka wo sani nyina ekoho ebesinne saa sika ni nyina afa Mr. Fred Kwatin and NPP fo aban a no mo hwe Ghana so insem. So you see the seriousness of the canker, the seriousness of the problem. We are talking about calculated, orchestrated, and yet well managed corruption at Ghana embassy, Washington DC. And this was going on every single time. We were speaking on it under Akufo Addo. We were speaking on it telling Bawumia. We were telling Kennedy Agyapong. We were telling Bawumia Campaign. Say, you people, the way your government is running the embassy in Washington, D.C. and other places, you people are destroying Ghana's image outside. And the reporter, Abeda, say, just Washington, D.C. alone, Ghana embassy, Sika Afani Pansem, Mr. Fred Kwatin no visa application and visa acquisition so no sika afa ni nsem yakekabo ma $4.8 million. $4.8 million a year. Afibia into the yan rounding it up ni anya $5 million times 8 years na ye calculation na hwe amount for atna United States of America Washington DC to say atna Ghana embassy abo Ghana krono. And the funny thing is, Busa who say the former ambassador na our Ghana embassy, Halima Mahama, Mumusa Mahamene say, does she know anything about this? Because administrative wise, she is the head. She was the boss. Technically, she was Ghana's president in Washington, in Ghana, in America. Inti sama amena na imbremi make am so much say oye ambassador no. Right now we should ask the woman, how did she oversee? How did she sit down for this canker? This high level of corruption to happen at the Ghana embassy in Washington, D.C. How did this happen? Was she part of the crime? Did she take part in it? Now, this Fred Kwatin guy, we need to make sure we scrutinize and squeeze him for him to tell us every single person who was involved in this scandal. And these are things that the Ghana for say the John Mahama administration, they came to reset. Now, resetting is not easy. You are going to hit lots and lots of blocks. There are so many things you will need to bring down and rebuild it again. There are so many things you need to rearrange. There are so many things you need to make sure you start from the bottom again. Because amount for us saying no more to the point, say the country as we sit in, and all that you are seeing, all the things that the minister is talking about, this happened under Nana Akufo Addo, Bawumia, Kennedy Agyapong, because NPP, omo anom top no, omo nana ede omo party members, omo nana omo du omo wuram. When wa branch na friend Kofi Tonto no, say not America ha. Mumuza Kofi Tonto say, identity free Ghana embassy echo Washington echo Ghana. Kofi Tonto kwasi ampenyi we no, na odwin se oba Ghana omo be ne minister. Kofi Tonto last meeting say oti asempa. He was speaking as if say this scandal he knows nothing about it. Kofi Tonto was part of the people who put up this kind of stealing regime, stealing mechanism at the Ghana embassy. Kofi Tonto. At the time I know Ghana embassy Washington, not just a Ghana for Jimmy and an MP before that and so Jaina Bra. Now bedru Ghana now Okasaka cry, Yabema ministerial appointment and the Kofi Tonto, the other top prepaid cronibi. Wadani a mere party communicator. Why kwasia? But Kofi Tonto started his corruption from the Ghana embassy Washington DC. That is why today Kofi Tonto is in Ghana, sitting on TV, defending corruption, defending the NPP, because these are some of the things that made him a human being. And I'm telling or I'm advising the Foreign Affairs Minister, Mr. Blakwa, that people need to face the law. We need to prosecute people. People need to end up in jail. In fact, we need to stop some people from entering the United States again forever and ever. They need to be kept in Ghana. They need to be changed in Ghana. They are not supposed to come back here to do anything. And a typical criminal, I know ye Juma ewa Ghana embassy Washington DC. Kofi Tonto. Or ye re sa mechanism we omo puti up, omo cookie ya, and the abedu say ye nyina ye bie mu no. Kofi Tonto no onim hubi. Mumusa ne say time na oye Juma wo no. Sika no mo no through visa and sa sika na way. Let them tell you the audit they did, the investigations when it started. When it was happening, Kofi Tonto was at the Ghana embassy. And see, what Ablakwa is telling us, we as Ghanaians, We need to take this seriously. And this is just Washington, D.C. Do you know what is happening in Holland? Do you know what is happening in Spain? Do you know what is happening in France? Do you know what is happening in the UK? All over the world, our embassies and the NPP, they were turned into cash cow. They were turned into a cartel ring where people were making money out of us. And we are not supposed to see this as a joke. This is a national concern because it is not just Washington, D.C. This cuts across. This goes across the world. Everywhere there is an embassy at Ghana, you need to understand, say, the same strategy they adopted at Ghana Embassy in Washington, D.C. is the same strategy they adopted in all these their respective embassies. So it is not a small job that the minister has to do. He has to audit every Ghana embassy around the world. And we see the corruption. Munko Spain, munko he. Yasi akwati etibu ho time. Now, I've received a lot of emails. And this goes to the minister. Mr. Blakwa, I've received a lot of complaints. I've received a lot of emails from people in France, Ghana for more France, especially Ghana for more America, Ghana for more UK, more Spain. Especially, I'm going to speak on the ones that are sending me concerns, issues happening right now at the Ghana embassy. I know, say, what you guys came to meet was basically a nothing. And when I say was nothing, there was no embassy. Goro boys who were there making money for themselves. In fact, I know what the NDC came to meet. Washington, D.C. at the embassy. No, there was nothing as an embassy. Now, Obiya de Ope. People were stealing. There was no correspondence from the embassy. People were not responding to calls. Administrative-wise, everything was shut down. There was nothing like an embassy. The people were just sitting there taking money and fooling us. I know it is difficult. I know it is not easy. I know you cannot just come in and say you want to reset, restructure. It is going to take some time. And you are going to have administrative lapses. Right now, people are complaining, Mr. Minister, that when you started this resetting from the embassies, some things are still not right. And I know it is the amount of damage these people did. Now, I know what these guys, the NDC guys, are going through now. Now, they came to meet a system that was bogus and criminal. Now, this Fred Kwarteng and the Nkwofodomo embassy, they made the illegal structures at the embassy, they over the time they made it look like illegal. So now, Ablakwa and the NDC, they need to come in and make sure everything that looked legal, which was illegal, they have to make sure they break it down and start it from ground to make it legal. And this is not just Ghana. The Ghana embassy there is going to face a lot of problems because one, you have to understand to say every third party company, Fred Kwarteng, and Ghana embassy, those people were working with the Ghana embassy illegally. Now remember, before the NDC came to power, those companies that were working with the Ghana embassy illegally, some of them still have Ghanaians, their passport, their documents, their data. Now, Fred Kwarteng, they have the key to all this data. This is a guy who has been caught, who is a criminal, technically being processed for court. Now, as we speak, how can you get the system back to work effectively? You need to make sure you start to build everything from scratch. Now, building everything from scratch, you need to understand the embassy cannot wait. People want to travel. People need visas. People need the embassy to respond to their emails. People need the embassy to be corresponding. Now, how do you make this work? It is like coming in, breaking everything down, and still making sure that the embassy is efficient because people still need visas. People still want to do business with the embassy. So what do? I know the Ghana government is in a very tight position because slowly you need to weed out the bad system, the bad administrative structure, and try and turn it around gradually to make it legal. How do you do that? People also are waiting for their data. Into able to send it the passport, not in some kind of passport, because the passport people, the courier service, and illegal service, and they are now not willing to work with the Ghana embassy. Now, you need to understand, to make sure that these people bring back all the passports. These people, they make sure they come back for Ghana embassy, the Ghana government, to get everything back. It is not going to be an easy thing because right now, that is the only thing Kwarteng in the group they are holding on to. If I am quitting, I will shut the system down, because for the past years, I have been able to build a system that favors me. So if you're a government and you come in and you come to do audit, that's what I say, I will find a way to break the system. And that is why the Ghana Embassy in Washington, D.C. is struggling. That is why the Ghana Embassy in Washington, D.C. today, I get lots and lots of people sending me emails that we have sent our passport, we are not getting the visa, we are waiting for somebody to pick up. It is because the system was broken. Now they have to build a system from scratch. So I will urge the minister that communication is important, that the embassy should have a 24-hour desk, at least a 24-hour desk. If administrative-wise things are not moving smoothly as you predicted, then at least you should have a 24-hour desk that will be picking calls and answering questions. At least somebody can pick the call and tell the person at the, on the phone that we understand, we know how you feel. We have accepted. Now, please give us 2 days. We will work on it. What is your passport number? Somebody should be behind the phone. And this should go to Okudzeto Blakwa. We know the hard work you people are doing. It is not easy, because what you people came to meet is crazy. It's disaster. So at least Ghanaians outside who want to do business with the Ghana Embassy, and people who are not from Ghana, foreigners who want to do business with Ghana Embassy, they need to get to talk to somebody. So at least you need to have about 3 phones working for 24 hours at least. You need to get people working the phone lines 24 hours. At least you need to put 3 phone lines out. That are phone lines, when you call, you need to get response. We are not saying, say, the problem you came to meet, use 2 weeks to solve it. We know you are doing your best to solve the problem, but at least let the people be informed. Just be updating the people. So, Obi Frey Embassy now, somebody should pick up. It should be somebody's job. Somebody should be able to pick up to say, hello, you have called the Ghana Embassy. How can I help you? Nipanabeka say, yes, I've submitted my passport. It's been 2 months. I've not received it. That person should be able to have that time to explain it to the person, for the person to understand. So at least they have people at the embassy working for us. So, Mr. Blakwa, as much as you are working so hard, you are doing your investigations, you are briefing us, make sure the embassies are effective. At least the front desk, the phone lines, they are effective. People can talk to people. And I'm giving you just a week with all due respect, because we are all waiting to talk to somebody at the embassy. We acknowledge your hard work. We acknowledge what you are doing. We respect the work you are doing. We know you are trying to put things in place. But at least let somebody be picking phone calls. Somebody at the embassy should be picking calls. We need about 3 phone lines that are effective 24/7. We need somebody who will sit behind the phone, pick the phone, and put people's concerns on paper. Send it to authorities and say, at least these are the concerns we are getting. Can we do something about it? Ghanaians just want to hear somebody speak from the embassy, or else all that you are doing will go into the trash. Relations, communication, dialogue is very paramount when it comes to building an institution that can be trusted. Building an institution that can be trusted, it's all about communication. It's all about dialogue. When you feel that part of communication, you are done. So, Mr. Blakwa, this is an advice. And it shouldn't be just Washington, D.C. France Embassy, Ghana Embassy or France. It is terrible. Ghana Embassy or Spain, it is terrible. Ghana Embassy or Kuwait, terrible. Ghana Embassy or UK, at least for now, we know you people are restructuring. What we want you people to do is simple. Put 3 phone lines, effective phone lines that are working at these embassies. Let them talk to human beings. Let them, at least when somebody calls the Ghana Embassy, let somebody talk to somebody, and it should be prompt. We don't want to talk to any voice nonsense. We want to talk to human beings. At least I don't think it's too much for you, Ablakwa, and the embassy to employ 3 people to be sitting at a desk in front of a phone and picking people's phone calls and concerns. I don't think it's that big. It's that difficult. There are people who are even willing to do this job for free. So we are sending this message. We are demanding this. Mr. Ablakwa, We are demanding this. We know you are working. Germany embassy, Ghana embassy in Germany, Ghana embassy in Spain, Ghana embassy in France, Ghana embassy in Washington, D.C., Ghana consulate in New York City. Ghana, make sure you have told us you are resetting. Wakachra say mo ye juma, mo sheshe nyoma, say ya sheshe nyoma mo ma phone sin ye juma. For all you know, the embassy, our passports be a ededa wa, yedi visa abom keke. People just want to call and say, "Oh dear, before the calamity started, my passport was there. Is it there already?" Somebody just want to come for their passport. They don't even need a visa again. So somebody should be talking to Ghanaians. I'm going to come back to this matter next week. And next week, at least, I need to get some emails from people. I need to get some calls from people telling me, say, the Ghana embassy, right now, they're offra obifa. And yes, sir, Mr. Black, I know, say, you are not going to like me. Ebasa, and you will tell me, say, I don't want anything good for you. And this is something I am telling you, me before, no remember where I stand. As much as I'm applauding you for the work you are doing, get people behind the phones. Get people to work the lines. Get people to even be calling Ghanaians and telling them, Mr. Simesi, your passport is here. We don't have a visa in there. Can you come? We want to see you and talk to you. You need to do that. Because I am very sure there are some passports at the embassy or a man from Nigeria. You people need to call the people. It is your job. It is not our job. We know you are resetting. You know we are working. Your Ghana for Brahma Brocha, passport to embassy. Gather those passports and start calling the people. Almost so munti omo. So omo person omo passport. Give them dates. Let them come for their passport. That is what we need. You see NPP for say omo kote eye adia ye freno. NPP to inaugurate party school on 25th June. You see NPP for say omo beti bibia ye freno party school. NPP for say omo beti bibia ye freno party school. Na no. Ebe chere NPP for ade for party no ho. Rather that go. NPP for say omo beti party school. Now me pese me bu say party school no am na be kira de wo ho. Because party nankasa as NPP party no. Party no wan aboa emmo men na be kira mo de na mo besua. Ye nim party no be bia ye tikiri free ye. Party school no mo be kira de pa na mo pese mo kira mo party for no. Ade biam ne enim fa NPP ho. Yenim dankwa. Ono ne koje eye bribe ewo US embassy wo Ghana. Yenim buzia. Ono ne ball kro no dwane ko hye eye de Togo. Yenim dombo. Ono na sebi ojimijimi yehu bebi ofa ya na asefo omo dada omo. Enti party no yenim say ye nana baafo akoto. Otiti ni mo rem £700 ene ye de teye. NPP yenim say 1992 moye sebo be contested. 96 we are some contested the first presidential elections. No, the reason why I would say a NPP in the say, Mamika be 1996 NPP no mun year ready say 92 omo better party. The main reason to omo take party no a two. Omo take party because of tribe, and secondly omo take party because of JJ Rawlings. The NPP as a political party, no me no mujina so take party no. One, a tribe, enti no take party no. Secondly, the reason why in 1992, omo say omo take party, 1996, omo contested for presidential elections no, and say they put that party together in 1992 because of the hatred for JJ Rawlings, because they believed say JJ Rawlings to me a democracy no, not democracy ni jinane na aswa. They will have no space in Ghana politics because people had seen the Oma here in the past. They were no mo chire all the coups they see were Ghana na NPP for the chire. In the time of JJ Rawlings 1992 or move Ghana to the Fourth Republic, a democratic nation no. The NPP decided say anti another party in quote, a democratic party. We cannot stop JJ Rawlings because JJ will open the minds of Ghanaians when it comes to democracy. And they actually formed the NPP to counter the democratic dispensation JJ Rawlings wanted to introduce into Ghana. It is a even in the archives, the NPP was formed all because they didn't like JJ Rawlings making sure Ghana has moved into a democratic dispensation. It was to counter Rawlings moving Ghana into democracy, and they could not counter Rawlings when they did not have an equally democratic, in quote, political party to diffuse JJ Rawlings' democracy. Until they came together and said, Sakwano move from military, Amanda or done in democracy there. We also need to change our style and go destroy him. Because we cannot bring JJ Rawlings down. So the idea was that let us also change our color and form something called the NPP, and in quote, we become a democratic party, and then we can use that tag to let the world think, say, JJ is not practicing democracy in Ghana well. And no, J.A. Kufuor, Edu Buahimo, any Hakmano Uswa Jimamo bar together. That is when they hacked that plan of NPP. Because the NPP itself, it wasn't built or it wasn't formed in the past because of democracy. It was formed because of Ahimfie. But they were forced to change into a democratic party in disguise because they did not like the idea that JJ Rawlings is moving Ghana into a democracy. Now they needed to also act as if they believe in democracy to let the world think, say, yes, yeah, democracy. JJ Rawlings share so, because after they formed the democratic NPP, in quotes, what they did was they started sending Omunananum to Abrochire. They started sending Obabusianfo to Abrochire. Omudu Abrochire, no ma catch Abrofuno or Germany say JJ Rawlings tata omo. In fact, Omunana party your friend NPP. JJ Rawlings MPP nasem and into Omunananum say Omumbetna Germany. So majority of them went to the UK. Some of them too went to Germany, and the message was one. Yakwa Yanka say, your papa is part of a democratic party, a friend NPP, but the current president, who is JJ Rawlings, who moved from a military rule into democratic rule, is hiding behind democracy to torment our people. And it's in papa no de ababruchi. So they seek asylum in UK, they seek asylum in Germany, and then they started writing and putting something in the heads of the white men. Said JJ Rawlings, even though he's practicing democracy, he is suppressing the people. This is the pure NPP, why it was formed, why it's in 1992, a democratic party. From 92, right before 92, almost started as a Mobusha. Majority of bloggers in the UK in the 70s, 80s, 90s, they went to tell Abrofo to say almost seek asylum because JJ Rawlings now, well free military about democracy, he is hurting their people. Oh, now Papa a politician. He belongs to NPP. Now, when you check NPP, it's a democratic party in Ghana. Until now, Abraham say, why is one democratic party frustrating another democratic party? Meaning that leader now, a military leader now, what democratic party no, he's hiding behind democracy to suppress these kind of people. Until they were out there, they were in school, all that they were doing is writing articles into newspaper. Say, MPP no, they are being suppressed. That is how they were able to stifle JJ Rawlings' administration. Until from 1992. All the way to 1996, Rawlings transferred to 2000. JJ Rawlings struggled to get funding from Europe and America because MPP for that was the time they were out of the country. What were they doing? Were out of the country, writing articles and telling the Europeans, say Rawlings is killing people in Ghana. It is all Kwaku campaign in 1996 and 2000. Now, selling it to the international world, say Rawlings is murdering women in Ghana and spreading them on the streets. Yato abani 2000 Akufo wini yepe and Amalkum because they had planned it. Now, do you understand? Politics na make sure no. Almost NPP school. Make sure NPP school. Inti omuye sano and 1996 economy say check JJ Rawlings he's killing Ghana for ma okunkofo is hiding behind democracy. Inti almost start no mo kunipa omo fa bi nyina free Togo now be spreading on Ghana every day you about yekuno the day Akufo win the election you about BM ebesin ne. That is how they operate. Make MPP school no we na also mo kire no ha sa MPP school we no sa de we na also mo kire nkwara no mo MPP mu no nkwase afo. And we know the NPP, we know their history. We have followed the NPP. We even know the reason why our NPP no more former. It was out of hatred for JJ Rawlings. Opa, go on AI, artificial intelligence, and punch in why the NPP was formed. Besides, just do that. You will see what AI will say. In fact, let me do this. Just put in why NPP was formed. NPP Ghana. Oh, there. Why? I am telling you, this is the history. Why the NPP was formed. Me say artificial intelligence crab amount history in your the reason behind the forming of NPP. Historical lineage. The New Patriotic Party of Ghana emerged in 1992 as the modern embodiment of a long-standing political tradition rooted in Dankwa Dombo lineage, centered around values such as individual freedom and the rule of law, property owning democracy, and liberal economic policies. Here is a breakdown of why and how it was formed. Over 1, historical lineage from independence era parties to the NPP. Its ideology roots stretch back in the United Gold Coast Convention, UGCC, in 1947, formed to advocate for Ghanaian independence under leaders like J.B. Dankwa and Pa Grant. Now, when you go down, the return of multi-party. Now, after years of military rule under J.J. Rawlings and his Provisional National Defense Council, a new constitution was drafted and approved via referendum in April 1992, reviving democratically elected governance. The lifting of the ban on political party politics in May 1992 catalyzed various groups of recognized, among them the Dankwa Buzia Club. Coalesced into the soon became NPP. Official formation. Now, I'm going to say, immediate context in 1992. Founding figures. In summary, the NPP emerged out of a transformation of Ghana's political landscape, a return of multi-party democracy, and stand as the modern incarnation of the progressive convention tradition dating to pre-independence struggles. It was founded to establish constitutional governance and offer an alternative vision centered on freedom, enterprise, and prosperity ownership as Ghanaian transition out of military rule. If you are interested, I can share more. Now, when you take your time and you read what the AI and I say history tells you are, in 1992, they put the party together just because J.J. Rawlings had put NDC together. That's all. It's a property owning party. They were not ready to put together a political party, a democratic political party. No. It was out of hatred. It was a target idea. They targeted J.J. Rawlings. They wanted to stop him. And guys, the NPP as a political party, do not trust them. It's a party no Ghanaian should sit and say, party way there, you trust the party way. Now, here, before we close, you have a point, no. NPP delegates when you say 2025 National Delegates Conference Planning Committee. You see, we're going to echo planning a year NPP National Delegates Conference. Thank you very much, team. It's all over the place. You see, omo committee ya omo na omo ba be den omo be planning a NPP for delegates conference na omo ba be because omo constitution no omo amending your bi omo a omo person omo gitum sankofo nyina dey work for Bawumia. Sankofo we nyina Bawumia atini team say sa team no omo nko planning for delegates conference sa eye party no the constitution no omo amend the constitution to favor Bawumia. The constitution omo amend no Kennedy Agyapong, I am telling you, omo suspended and election 2028. Kennedy omo suspended no and sana omo ko omo primaries. And that amendment no omo constitution no Nanabi, Mustafa, Sir Jerry, all these people on the bill, Sankofu Mugusuno, they are the people following Bawumia around. Where Bawumia campaign. Bawumia has set up his own committee. That is going to do what? That is going to, at the end of the day, that is going to put together a delegates conference. The party Bawumia wayeku wafa. Party no Mahamadu Bawumia Mahamadu wayeku wafa party no wafa onwane nkofo and also omunko na conference na omobeye na omoba be change constitution no onwane nkofo planning. They are going to plan and they are going to implement what Bawumia want. This is what I've been telling you. Mahamadu Bawumia, sa Mahamudu no, Mahamudu, one ne yere Samiri. Sa oko eye chada, your friend Samiri, your friend Samira. Oko eye Fulani Funuma, our friend Samira. Because Fulani kasa no Samira nim, your friend Samiri. Sa Mahamudu ne yere Samiri. Sa Ankofono, they are crazy hungry for power. They are power thirsty. They just need power to do nonsense. Mahamudu and Samere. If you people don't take care, Namutam Ghana Esha Samere and Mahamudu Nsemu, you are done. Sa tu munafikis no. Me say Mahamudu on Samere. Oko chat. Anako fulani fo kroma. Yemfrobia Samira oho. Obienu wa friend Samira. A man from Samira and a dinner born Samere. Me say what the Ghana share Samere and Mahamudu Nsem where we. This is the NPP for you. Mahamadu Bawumia on the Samere NPP NA. They have their own members who are going to make sure that delegate conference, everything goes in favor of Mahamadu Bawumia. Now, arrest risk contumely, Agyarko, another useless criminal. The dust settled a whole about 8 years ago. This idiot could not tell us. On a namna these are the clowns. 8 years. Akufo Addo baya. Never bought Krono and they are doing so many minyansa. And they who almost as presidential candidate. Electing flag bearer before regional national executive is a recipe for disaster. Boakye Agyarko or say about be presidential candidate and Sani Kwaku Annan regional and national executives are a recipe for disaster or say a Jimmy Sam. Yeah. What not now I can fork a can quasi abrofo space. Samere and Mumuni, Omaba, Omaje party no. Some catch them one can for movie more Jimmy. Boko Tibrofo Kakran of some then a mass and a thing. Sa Samere, on the Mamudu, Omamu free chiro, free desert so. Omaje party no, Omo die dro. And on my satemu. What be you tea? Ubewu. Uyuti, Yareba kun. Samere and Mumuni, Omu dangerous. And the wash a space by catcher and said, it is recipe for disaster. Oh, free. What at a party nim? Mokofati Chidiane Baye, and a Samere, and a Mamudu, and a Omuni Nemuna, Omo building, Omo blocks, and a Mudimu Jimmy Yadi at Tebrofo. Bawumia is a comedian, and you know, let me tell you, Mamma can be being sure winning BB. Me Agyarko, Mr. Kwasia, Omo Bejimo party, no magic. Samere, Sibiane ni bri to me no. Samere pele. Enya Samira o. Ko chat. Ko fulani phone ka say I am looking for Samira. I'm to technology. O say I am looking for Samere. O say Samere. Yam friend Samira o. E Ghana no de ayabe show no de RA aba. E Samere. Samere ene Mahamudu. Samo anya careful. And then amokasa. Mu hu hwe. De ebesi no. Se esiwia na mubongu se sa NPP me catch them egu mi meguno 1,000 meguno mi besie no
yo it for winning and someone about beto yapono so meka say so when you subscribe to channel idea bobody say over subscribe no I like video no give us a thumbs up now fi share ma wo foforo so na when you be here na wo and somewhere koso e wo Ghana memo also with me otchere wadwen afaye some way nyina ho e wo comment box ni mu mbati minkabi in my next video.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.